Joe.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay?
Yeah, one of mine. Why did I make this note? Hey, cheers, and welcome to From Behind the BarCast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, and drinking in general. I'm Paxton. That is Clint Moses. We have Vincenzo over there on the long drink, and he's got a camera.
People know I actually do something now.
Right behind him is the one true God, Mr. Nicholas Rage Cage.
Yes.
And
got Grant over here in the corner.
Grant over here smoking a cigar.
Grant Ditka.
We're upgrading.
From Behind the BarCast loves our listeners, and we like to shout out some of their birthdays.
We
right
do.
off
Birthday,
the top.
right off of the rip. Happy birthday to Phillips Russell.
Nice.
Love you,
my
cuz.
man.
His cousin, Mandy Cohill, the sweetest females on the whole planet.
True.
Britt Bacon, known forever, went to high school with her, also a very sweet lady.
True.
It says Tragic Mike
Tragic.
Tragic Mike, who I stayed up playing Fortnite with on his birthday. Fortnite with him on his birthday, even though I didn't want to. Until
He came to work the next day, and he turned into Tragic Mike before, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Normally,
Yeah.
it's like 9 before he's Tragic Mike.
Madison, who works at Social Club with Vinny, Maddie.
Maddie,
Happy birthday,
yeah,
30th
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Jason Cox. He's played with all of us in different ways.
He's okay, whatever.
Yeah, he's a handsome
Hello,
man. Bunger. Catherine
Bunger.
Happy
All
birthday to you, if you're still conscious when you hear this.
We're all getting very old, too.
Yes,
Ooh.
Charlie Long. Happy birthday,
Hey,
CeeLo, if you
Charlie
figured out how to
Long.
work podcasts. And Tess Ryder. Tess.
Cheers.
Work with Tess. Thank you so much for listening.
Cheers.
To the manager of Local 1110. And to Eric Culberson. It's his 144th
Fourth
birthday.
birthday. He was born in the
this
1800s
week.
at some point.
Yes.
So last week before we started, we had a lot of technical issues, and we were going to do the skit. But so here's what happened. No, I'm not going to talk about what happened with the equipment. But what happened was we were going to do a skit where I was going to be a chick, and I was going to go, okay, can I get my card back? And you're like, ma'am, you already paid in
You already
cash.
paid in cash.
So I willed this thing into existence.
So it happened?
It happened to me like 3 times over this past weekend. So it would be like, hey, I just need my card back. I'm like, you never gave it to me. Because sometimes it would be, and I'm starting to prefer this when I used to not, but I'm starting to prefer when, even if they get like something for $4 or $8, swipe it and let's go.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
especially at the outside bar, I only have a big enough clothesline,
Yes,
for like 10
yes.
tabs or something like that.
We got your 2 shirts hanging up there to dry. So
Not yet. I'm
Not
still
yet.
on one shirt. But so people,
one shirt winner.
so people, they'll be like, I just need to get my card back. And sometimes I'll be nice. I'm like, do you think you left it inside, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's plausible and it never happens.
You're
So,
saying like it's always a woman.
so then, yeah, I mean,
Well, honey could be a drunk
you know
man
what?
too.
Yeah, but I'd say it's like 4 to 1 women to men that do it. Not, not for any other reason than just like, women are more likely to keep up with their card in terms of like, oh, I don't want to leave my card.
You're right.
Dudes leave their cards overnight way more
Oh yeah.
than girls do.
They're because we forget more, and
Yeah.
guys tend
Actually, when I got to work on Saturday, this dude came in at 5:01 when I started my shift. He ordered 20 shots, 8 drinks. I never saw him again, and his card was still sitting there. I'm talking about as soon as I got to the
Did
shift.
he do all 20 shots by himself? That might be why.
Well, he was sort of going Kevin Carpenter with it, and he was like, "Let me get 8 green teas." Oh, this is also funny. He goes, "Let me get 8 green teas." That was the first thing he ordered. So he has like 5 friends with him. So he gives them 5, and he goes, "Who? Anybody else want these other 3?" And he's trying to give them to me. It's like, nah, I don't drink sweet stuff like that. I'm sweet enough. Let's make a joke, whatever. And so then like he's like 5 minutes later, he comes up and he goes, "Hey, could I get 8 more of those Scooby-Doos?" I was like, tell me what a Scooby-Doo is.
I didn't make a Scooby-Doo.
He goes, "Oh, I meant green tea." I was like,
What?
So close, man. So close.
How do you?
"You're so
There's all
close."
that green tea and
You're
Scooby-Doo.
so close.
Like, I mean, maybe
So then later on last night, and this is just
I'll
on
have
the
a Daphne.
yeah, right.
I don't drive. The
I'll take a Thelma half on the Daphne.
The van
though.
is green. The mystery machine.
Yeah,
You could have said a mystery machine.
I guess you could think Scooby snacks are green if you think about it in terms of potheads. I don't know. There's no reason trying to.
Let's not try to decipher what an idiot was doing.
So then, a little bit later on, I had this group of people come in, and it was 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen. They looked like 2 couples. And the lady was like, I don't ever really drink. Could you make me something sweet? And I was like, yeah, I'll make you a rum runner. She goes, oh my God, this is great. I'm having fun. So then her husband / boyfriend, whatever, he starts pulling out the phone and he goes, can I have, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to have any of this shit, but they're really friendly. So I'm playing along. So he goes, could I have a red Mama's on her period or some shit like that? I was like, tell me what's in it.
I love that drink.
He read.
Yeah, he does.
Sorry, I had to.
He read me off the 4 ingredients.
That's a good news drink's what that is.
He read me off the 4 ingredients. We had them. So I
Really?
made them, right? Number 2. All right, so this is with a woman who doesn't drink a lot, right? Second one, he goes, hey, can you make me a blue helicopter or whatever? I was like, what's in it? We had like 5 of the 6 things. So I was like, yeah.
I can. Wow.
We did that like 4 times, 4 completely separate shots. The lady was totally fine. The dude who was supposed to be like the caretaker drinker
is hammered.
Hammered. He's like, can I pay you? I was like, you could pay me again if you want, but you
She's like, come on, honey. Let's get to the car.
definitely already paid.
It's when you're like, look, honey.
Because he was closing out after every round of shots, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But the thing was, like, he seemed in control. But so it ended up, the lady who never drinks or whatever, she had that rum runner, a Bloody Mary, and all those shots. And she was like, okay, you've been a really great bartender. Thank you so much. We're going to see you later.
I'm going to church. He's going home.
she walked out of there just as chipper as Jones.
That's
you know?
great.
Yeah, it was such a pleasant experience. But I don't like being complimented very much. And she was just like, "You're just such a great bartender." I was like, "I'm not really. You guys are cool. So you're getting."
Oh God, we went to Lily's the weekend before
You're
last.
getting the best of me.
And like I had talked to Ozzy, the owner, before. And Ozzy's very OCD about service and stuff. And when I worked there before he came along, I was very OCD about making service at least semi-proper for the prices we were charging. So I have a reputation to be a little bit of a stickler. But I do upscale dining, so I want things to be perfect.
Stickler in the terms of.
So when Ozzy took it as sort of, she almost thinks I'm snobby about it. So she wanted to make sure that the server knew to take the utmost care of me. And I've waited on the guy before, and
you were in eating.
I was eating at Lily's. But I've waited on the guy that waited on me. He's waited on me probably 3 or 4 other times. This was by far the best one because I waited on him since the last time I saw him. So I think that really helped him. It's getting to see me in my environment.
Someone warned them about you. They're like, "Oh God."
No, so he forgot one thing and was like, and I didn't mention it at all. He was like, "I'm so sorry, I forgot this. I got to make sure everything's perfect for Mr. Clint. He's one of the best waiters I've ever seen. Just flawless service." And he like gushed about it, and I was like, "Thank you." And then he kept going, and I'm like, "Okay, thanks."
Yeah.
I get it. You want to suck my dick? I got it.
I don't mind being complimented, but like over compliments.
Yeah, it gets a little.
Because
but he was genuine.
No, understood. But you know what means the most? If you go, "Hey man, thanks. I really like what you did.
Great job."
Don't water it
it's
down.
It's like saying
baby.
hey to a celebrity. You don't run up to Dana White and take a picture with them. Everybody on Typee.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
That was pretty cool though.
Did anybody tell you Dana White was on Typee? Saturday night, I heard 15 people tell you, and I was like, "Oh, I haven't been here like 2 hours."
Well, the thing was, a lot of people just came straight up with their phone, and the thing about it was, seeing him in every one of those pictures, he looked so
jovial.
Cool and legit to be in the picture.
He was smiling and hugging like every picture I saw.
Everybody said nothing but wonderful things about that.
And it was like, I know some of the people that he was in the picture with.
And they're annoying.
Yeah. And he was just like, "What's up, guys?" Which, I mean, at a certain level.
You're incredibly famous, especially amongst men. So you've got to, you expect that. But like, I feel like I was talking to, I think my sister about it. I was like, if I saw, there's certain people I would see and I would be like, "Oh, what up, man? Love your stuff." And just keep going. So I've interacted with Sarah before and keep it moving. There's like a few people where I would be like, I'm going to need to touch you.
When I meet certain drummers, I'll talk shop with drummers or whatever.
Yeah, you could come in talking shop,
bit,
you know? Yeah.
A little bit, but not overly. I'll be like, "Oh, I really love the hi-hat. It sounds really crisp. Is that a this and that, whatever?"
Yeah.
But when I met Arbery Plaza, I was just like, "Hey, I really love your stuff. Okay, bye."
Yeah, it's perfect for her. That's perfect for her.
No, the thing was, she was like, "Come here, give me a hug, man."
Some people like come to get a picture of me. Some people are like a complete and utter dick.
Yeah, I'm not.
And I don't force. Especially you can judge the situation and be like, "Oh, they're in social pick a picture mode,"
right?
Or they're in like leave me alone mode.
I'm just not a picture guy.
I'm not me either.
I don't take them. I don't appear in them.
It takes up a lot of time to get someone to take a picture with you, and like it's especially if you're not ready. Like you walk up to take a picture, like here, and you're fumbling with your phone. Like if you approach somebody for a picture, notes people have the phone out and ready. If you ask your waiter or bartender to take a picture of you, have it open, ready. get the best phone in the group,
Yeah.
get it together.
Always.
We're not using 5 phones
Yeah.
here. It's 2022. We can send a freaking text
Yeah.
message with pictures or an email, electronic letter, if
Yeah.
you will.
You can airdrop it to each other.
You do whatever you want, but don't make me take 10 pictures. It's
so-
not the 1900s.
Channing Tatum was my best picture ever. He came into Pooh's and he was really cool. I didn't want to bother him, but I like just got in a fight with my girlfriend, who was, kind of a total bitch sometimes. And she drove back to Athens, and I tried to get her to go to Pooh's with me, and she wouldn't do it. She just got mad at me, and I was like, "Oh, go drive to Athens." You
I
know,
knew that one was.
like go be mad and drive to Athens, and that's just going to. And I show up, and,
And I'm gonna blow Channing Tatum.
And I saw Channing Tatum with his wife, and I was like, "Hey, man, I just got in a fight with me and my girlfriend, and she really loves you. Can we take a picture of each other shooting her a bird?" And he
Just
was
for
like,
the jellies.
Fuck yes, let's. He was so excited about
Petty Vinny,
pissing
I
off
love it.
my
I love
girlfriend.
it.
I mean, yeah, you gotta be a little.
Just for the jellies.
I got.
It for
I
being
think I may have
mean to
told
the
this.
sweetest man
I may have told this story before, but it's worth mentioning again. I got written up because of Channing Tatum at the Crab Shack, and then they had everybody sign a piece of paper the next day saying we wouldn't. So he came into the Crab Shack.
Like a non-disclosure. Or something?
Yeah, and like he was there, and I thought it would be funny to go to Facebook and post, ladies, Channing Tatum's at the Crab Shack taking advantage of the no shirt, no
Oh.
problem policy.
Damn, dude.
And you know what happened? Like 4 people showed up.
Yeah.
We're like, where's he at? And I was, oh, he's
You
over there.
can't- you
And no one went, we put him in the back. No one was bothering him or anything.
You can't do that, Clint. Man, come on.
It was still funny. And some giant bitch, maybe who's the video you're talking about too. She was like 6'9". She looked like Hodor from Game of Thrones. She ratted on me.
I would never date someone like that.
And so Judy approached me to manage whatever. Sure, you wouldn't.
He's got a camera now. He
Yeah.
thinks he can talk more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
slap him.
You're not talking into the camera. You're double effing over there already. But
tied
so
with
the
Will
next day we
Smith.
came to work, we had to sign like a thing. So she was like, the woman was like, "You have to write you up." I'm like, "That's fine. That's understandable. Like I did this." And she's like,
Yeah.
you can't
That's
do
worth
that."
the write-up.
Yeah, and like she was like, "That's not funny. We don't harass people." Like, look, I did it. It was 9:15 at night. Like a few people that lived nearby came up here. It's not
Yeah.
a big deal. It's like you made some extra money for it, and nobody bothered the man. And so we had to sign this thing, and like the big oaf girl was like, "It's all his fault." I'm like, "Well, one, we all should know this. I'm an idiot
Yeah.
for doing it, but don't be a rat."
Yeah. Don't.
She was
just
a constant narc. though.
don't be a snitch though.
She was like in her mid 40s, but was the kind of person that
Don't be a
it
snitch.
was like she snitched so she would look better.
Yeah, exactly. Which snitching never makes you look better.
No, it's that crab mentality
Yeah.
don't work.
So speaking of so last week we had one of my favorite guests that we've had so
Sophia
far.
was
Very
amazing.
informative.
Lots of love. Got a
Yeah.
text about Sophia.
And I learned a lot because Vinny's drinking long drinks, but I didn't know that was the nomenclature for a
Right,
cocktail.
in Germany.
Yeah, with an alcohol in the mixer. But so she comes in on Saturday night and she goes, "Paxton, I know that you hate this, but could you charge my phone for me?" And I was like, literally, that's what we opened the show with last
Yeah,
week.
and that's the first thing. Yeah, was can you? Well, because I walked up there and I had Charlotte's coat, and I was like, "Hey, can you charge this chick's phone?" And you were like you were very busy at the time, and you looked up, and he was like, "What?" And I pointed, and you like, as your face turned, I could see like
Did I stare at you like Jada?
you looked at me like that, and then you tried to turn to smile at whoever the person was going to be, and you're like, and it was my sister, and you're like, "Ah, God damn it."
Because I would do it for sure. I would.
You gave me the most. Okay, it's time to leave from behind the bar look on
Yeah.
Saturday night because like I could tell you're busy, so I was
Yeah.
out
Good
of the
job.
way, like in the little walkway, but I was like, "Can I help you with
Yeah,
anything?"
yeah.
And you're like, "No." And so like I found something to help you with because you
Yeah.
like there was I don't know whatever it was. I thought like
Yeah.
a pizza came out instead of a pie or something. I was like, "Oh, I got this little
Yeah, yeah.
thing," and I came back like the look you had given me when I was like, "Can I get you anything?" I was like, it took a minute, Richard. I was like, "It's time to go, Clint. This is no longer for
Well, the
behind
thing
bar
was-
cast." 'Cause you got real busy real fast.
Yeah, and the thing is, like most times when people are like, "Hey, can I do something for you?" Like I don't know what needs to be done right at that moment
Right.
because I'm still.
I started looking around for stuff. It was, I can
Yeah.
do this and this, but you're
Yeah.
pretty organized too.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like
If you had been Winky, you'd have been like, "Here's a list of things
Right,
to do.
yeah,
I'm gonna go
yeah.
to the parking lot and hang out."
well, I go to work early so that I can stock all my stuff up. Man,
you can't tell he's working if you go to the main bar every given night. Winky just might not be there for half an hour.
so when I'm on the bar, I look down and Mike will sit back there and smoke an entire cigarette, like
Yeah.
very casually. Meanwhile, his tables are up here. Okay. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tonight we're drinking. Well, I'll tell you what I'm drinking. It is a Finlandia. Oh, thank you for
I got the Finlandia
for going
just because you like the Finlandia.
Scandinavian, and I'm mixing it with this 12-pack of Trulies that showed up at my house randomly this weekend.
The Truly Fairy came by.
I have not, and I love Trulies. I'm not against.
Speaking
any
of Winky, did you see
ladybeard.
he changed his profile picture to "I stand with Chris Rock"?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, Winky, he's on the cutting edge
Cutting
of
edge
anything that's
of
happening.
Swedish technology. And
So,
information.
let's
And he
just-
never misses a Sunday show.
Let's and he never.
I'll give him credit for that. He worked Saturday night.
Yeah.
He went to that damn show on Sunday.
Let's get it out the way then.
How to Kill a Man with a Frozen Steak.
No.
What does this note mean? I don't know. But I wrote a note. It's before another note. I know when I made the next note. So
Here
the Saturday
on
night.
Clint's drunken notes that we try to decipher.
This was a stone note. It
Okay.
wasn't a drunken. It was new weed weekend. So you smoked that new weed.
That's a great holiday.
And this man last night, we
It
got in
was
the
a great
car.
day.
And Blue Magoo got both of us.
It was a great day. It was
I love
awesome.
new weed
And we
weekend.
realized if you're I'm gonna need a little bit of that in there. If you're driving two men in a white convertible with the top down, either you're incredibly gay lovers or just like two hood dudes. But it depends on the song that's playing. So we're playing
Yes.
the new Big Boy album, and we're listening to like Can't Sleep. So it's kind of like it's it's melodic, but it's got a little. You can play it in the club.
So you weren't listening to David Gray's
But then
Sail
it
Away
goes
with
to
Me.
animals. It's like we're all animals, and like it's just and so like I'm like now we're gay in the song. So we get to downtown proper. I was like, hood ass song like Kill Jill or something. So I was like,
Oh, yeah. You were like, hold on. Before we
gotta
enter
look- we gotta look
32nd
cool
Street.
since we've looked gay for the past.
yeah. Well, just because we're going to be in traffic where people are going to, and I'm not running around jamming my music loud as hell, but,
Yeah.
it's a convertible. It plays out in the air.
Okay, so I was talking to someone about this the other day. When people ride their bikes and they have booming songs like
That's a
Trump,
little much.
that annoys me. Now, if you're in a group of people,
Then I'm okay with it.
totally fine.
Well,
But
if you put that in there, it's a
but
weird
it's
flavor.
nice, isn't it?
It's
But there's
refreshing.
guys that ride around like bumping.
Alone with a boombox.
It's like, dude, put some earbuds in, man.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
I will slap that box off of your bike.
Speaking of slapping boxes.
So I mean, let's get it out the way in the
we're
first
rocking it out.
segment. All right, so I'll be quick with mine. I don't want to make
Right.
this too
All
long.
right, go ahead.
So my take.
You got to lean into it real
This
good.
this was a bit that went a little south, and they didn't know how to recover from it. And here's the reason why I think that it is that way. And I'll make
Okay.
I'll make it really quick. The people watching the Oscars has gone down like 60% in the past like 4 years.
That's
So no one's
unfortunate.
watching, right?
You know what we were doing? Keeping up with it on my phone at a bar.
I was at the bar and I was almost going to switch it to the Oscars because there's no more live sports on besides college lacrosse. But I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'd rather watch college lacrosse than the Oscars. And then I got home that night and I saw the thing happening. I showed my roommate. I was like, this is him trying to be Ricky Gervais. This is Chris Rock trying to be Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
All right. The reason I think it's a bit also.
Chris Rock's not as funny as it used to be. Let's just say it.
No, and so the joke, the G.I. Jane thing, number one, that's a kind of a deep cut reference if you're under 30.
30. I mean,
Okay, so it's a super boomer reference, and it wasn't even a funny joke. I don't care. You know, he probably didn't. Whatever. I think it was set up to be a bit because Chris Rock was bracing, and he had his hands behind his back.
he was talking with his hands because he does. He's a very animated comedian. And then all of a sudden, once he made that joke, he went to parade rest and put his hands behind his back. And like, look, I took stage combat in high school. I did theater all through high school, and like we did stage combat, and like that was
It looked like a martial arts film.
Yeah.
He was getting out of the way to begin with, but
G.I. Do you want to guess what year G.I. Jane
Will
came
Smith
out?
even like posed after he slapped him for a second.
and then he gave himself a little smile as he walked
Yeah.
away. I'm gonna guess 1997.
1997, exactly.
Oh, look at me.
Filmed in the area, in the Low Country area.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, Paris Island.
So-
but yeah, so
But then Rock starts
we
looking.
were 16 when that came out.
Rock
Can you
starts
imagine?
looking at the producers like, do you know they're in his ear? Like, hey man, it wasn't supposed to go that way.
Right.
And so normally when he goes, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. If it would have been Richard Pryor right then, Richard Pryor wouldn't have gone, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor would have been, keep them dicks out your wife's mouth, motherfucker.
Yeah, and insert every
Okay.
joke y'all have seen for the last couple days.
Exactly. So that wasn't, a real number one. I mean, Chris Rock's a funny comedian, but
But it's and the thing is they're going to run their jokes through the Academy after
Yeah.
because Ricky Gervais kind of set the stage. The Golden
blew it up.
Globes.
He's the GOAT of all hosting ceremony shows.
Yeah. I mean,
Ricky Gervais, for
what's
sure.
his name from Curly's Gold? Is not the movie, the first one they were in.
I don't know.
Billy Crystal.
Vinny's got me. Thank you, Vinny.
Yeah, but Gervais did like 5 years in a row and crushed every
Yeah,
year.
every year.
And there's been some good one-offs. Like Norm Macdonald did the ESPYs, and like
Yeah, it
people,
was great.
it was very Andy Kaufman-esque because people were like, "Did he
Yeah,
like?"
because he's so dry.
He don't give a shit neither, and I love that about him. But
anyway, it felt contrite. Also,
so
Will
what's your
Smith,
take? Yeah, give me your
whose
take.
thing is, I don't have to cuss to sell. Will Smith, I got to cuss in his rap songs.
But I do, so fuck him and
So
fuck you
him,
too.
fuck him, fuck you too. Yeah.
Those
So
don't count. Those are song lyrics.
So song was the quotes. Oh, not he's got.
Oh,
that
he's
camera.
he's a
I'm gonna
diva over
slap
here.
that
He's
camera out of
he's
his
like, I
face.
got a camera, I got a notepad.
It's 'cause you know why he wanted a camera? So
Everyone's tied with Will Smith on F-bombs now.
he wanted to make sure he.
Everyone's got two now. We get,
Ooh, Will, we'll let you know. He's getting tagged in more posts he's ever been tagged in his entire life.
Lord Jesus.
But yeah, so he doesn't cuss in his real life. He cusses in movies. but he went full Mike Lowry.
Yeah.
I mean, it was full Mike Lowry. But it just, he laughed the first time, and then his wife's face was, everyone has seen it. We need to rehash some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But her face was like, oh, what the hell? And I think they probably discussed something along these lines.
Some kind of bit, but not.
But he had a little bit of champagne and Scientology before the thing. Let's all not forget Will Smith is a Scientologist, guys.
I didn't know. No,
I did not know that.
They're
I did not know
Scientologists.
that.
Him and his wife.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
Do
They are.
your own research. Okay, we'll talk about this.
I
next.
have done my own research.
Okay, we'll talk
He's a
about it next segment.
Scientologist.
I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you.
God, calm down.
All right.
I don't know why I'm telling myself to calm down. I'll throw you out the crib.
Calm down, self.
Don't get thrown out the crib, Jackie Jeff. Vinny also doesn't believe me, which is fine too. Yeah. No, when Uncle Phil would toss Jackie Jeff out the crib all the time.
Yeah.
It was never Jackie Jeff. It was always like a mannequin, so that thing was like. But yeah, it just felt. I put a little poll up on the Instagram page.
I saw that.
Yeah, I got like 20 people reacting to
Okay,
it.
when I hit no on the Facebook one, it was at 100% no. Which was this real or not? And
Was 100% no?
it was 100% no when I last
we'll check it at the
checked.
breaking. I'll give you an update when we return. But look,
So do you think now? Let me
Will
ask.
Smith. If I smacked Vinny,
Yeah.
like out of pure anger, I think our size differential is pretty close to Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Yeah,
maybe a
it's
little
about the
taller than Chris
same.
Rock.
Yeah.
But like, I would knock you to the ground if I hit you like I was.
You love
that
me
mad.
too much to ever do
But
that.
We'll see.
we'll
buddy.
also do a research on that at the break and see what happens.
Keep your dick out of my mouth. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever
yeah,
he's.
yeah, whatever you did to Channing Tatum. Don't do that to me.
Welcome to the roast of Vinny.
Yeah. You get a camera, it comes with some pain.
So tell me this. All right. So I kind of have this idea that it was set up that there was going to be a bit.
Of some sort, yes.
But-
that joke wasn't ran through and
Right, but
supposedly.
since it was kind of improvised, he did the G.I. Jane thing, and now on the heels of her having like alopecia or whatever, that he was like, hey, I'm going to say something about your wife or whatever because I said something
in
about her.
2016, he called her out for boycotting the Oscars because
Yeah.
Will Smith didn't get nominated for concussion, so she boycotted.
So says joke, Will laughs first, sees Jada's reaction, and he's like,
This is the bit.
all right, so I think he was already planning on going up there and like pretending or
something.
something, but he was actually pissed. He goes to, he probably connected when he wasn't supposed to.
I think the plan was to get him, but not to. I think the stuff after that was not planned. The
Yeah.
cussing stuff.
Yeah.
I think the interaction of some sort was planned.
Right.
Because he hit him. He made contact, but it's like it's not.
It looked like a stage. It looked like it was supposed to be staged, but he
short,
was like,
short swing.
but
short
he
swing.
was like, I'm gonna hit you though
yeah,
now.
it was a short swing.
Yeah.
And hands behind his back, and Chris Rock kind of like almost reacted like he was going to swing back because it's a natural reaction. But you don't. If someone comes running up at you real quick after you made fun of their wife, you usually put your hands behind your back.
The thing is, if anyone runs at me and I feel like, even if it's like in a joking way and I see them start to move, you're natural. It's just like falling off of a
It's to keep your
skateboard.
hands up.
Is to put your hands out, whatever.
Yeah, it's defend yourself somewhat.
So someone else said this. If it was The Rock,
yeah, he would not have slapped The Rock.
he wouldn't have gone up there and done it.
We're not going to rehash every meme that's came out today.
Of course,
we don't
yeah.
have enough time to do that because there's been 8,500,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wouldn't have slapped The Rock. But the thing is, he couldn't do that with any of the other presenters because they were all women, I think, right?
I didn't watch.
He wasn't
so I
going
don't know.
to slap Spider-Man.
But here's the thing: it got us, and we're
Amy
drinking.
Schumer was Spider-Man.
We're a drinking podcast, and we're talking about it. So whatever happened, it was effective in the way of we talked about it, and no one's talked about the Oscars because no one gives a shit really.
Well, I told you this earlier. So we were at Social Club, which we'll get into later.
Oh, we got to talk about Well,
we'll get into that on the next segment. It's a next segment thing. It's going to take 20 minutes.
No, but we'll talk about the marriages.
But all that stuff. Tease for you guys. So I'm keeping up with it on my phone on Twitter, and I see oh my god, what happened? People that have been tweeting about it, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
So like refresh every 2 minutes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
refresh now, and I'm like, and so we're trying to see if it's real, and watching it on people filming their TV, so it's not great quality. So we kind of talk about it for 20, 30 minutes. We say our goodbyes to Sophia. Hope you have fun back in Germany. Have a safe trip. We miss you already.
I miss you.
We had a great time. So we kind of drop it. We talk about it in the car some. He's watching the video while I'm driving home. And he's like, look, and I'm like, we're on the bridge where the construction is. He's like, look, I'm like, this is why I'm driving. And yeah, this is why I'm driving. So we get home, we walk in the door and turn on the Oscars, and it's immediately like he has just won the Oscar for Best Actor. So he is like, the first tear is rolling down his cheek. And we both get quiet and just watch him. We don't say anything to each other for the whole speech.
So you picked up live
when he was getting the award.
Okay. And
So-
it was Best Actor.
Best Actor for
So that's like a
for
pretty
the,
big one.
for the story of Venus and Serena Williams' father.
Oh, gotcha.
So
okay.
he's giving this heartwarming speech about what it meant to be their dad,
Yeah.
and, like, to be a black man in
Yeah.
America raising two
GOAT
daughters.
female athlete ever.
Yeah, but they're
Serena?
black athletes. And
No,
yeah.
I'm saying someone's
Serena
asking
and
who's
Venus, yeah.
the GOAT
Yeah,
women's
for sure,
athlete ever.
sure.
I agree
Yeah,
that it was
the
Serena.
one and two.
Serena.
One and two. And so they're over there on the side panel. It keeps
Two is
flashing,
Jackie Joyner Kershaw. Go
flashing.
ahead.
It's flashing to them, and then back to him. So I'm like getting teared up. This is, it's an emotional moment,
Yeah.
and like I've forgotten for just a moment about the slap. And then he quotes Denzel, and it was a long speech. And
Yeah,
then like
yeah.
the camera starts messing up. It was the Oscars
Yeah.
were a joke otherwise, but it was pretty emotional situation. And then
Yeah.
like as soon as it stopped, I was like, oh yeah, he just slapped Chris Rock in the face.
It's weird though how quickly they forgot and how like because
It overshadowed everything else that happened.
it kind of did,
He,
and
he literally shit on his own sunshine.
it took his own moment away.
Yeah.
But at
He
the same
slapped-
time,
when you slap Chris Rock, you play yourself.
you know what you just did?
You slapped
I
Pookie.
think him winning the best actor made it feel even more planned for me, though.
Well, he didn't know he was going to win. He just knew he was nominated.
No, see, maybe it was like I might not win, so at least I'll
That's, I think, what it was,
at
man.
least I'll make a splash. I mean, I'm glad
Yeah.
he won. I've never seen any of these movies. I don't care because
I'm going to watch this movie. It looks great.
Well, no, if it's about the
Serena.
Serena and Venus Williams story, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
They're from Compton,
entertainment's
man.
changing. No one goes to theaters really much. You know what I mean? Most of the great well, yeah, I mean, besides
Nerds.
you nerds, but most of the great content that's being created now is not necessarily Hollywood produced. You know, it's Amazon, Netflix, whatever.
Yet some movies are breaking records every year.
Um,
Marvel.
So, also over the weekend, to me being a drummer, Friday, I guess it was Friday night. I was
Yeah.
Will we continue this conversation later, or do you want?
No, I'm just gonna-
You want to put a
this
rock in it?
this is just quick. So I saw Taylor Hawkins. You know, he passed. He's 50 years old, and so that night I just kept refreshing to see what
Cause of death.
the cause of death really.
Because we're all morbid.
And well, he's 50 and he's a drummer, and I've never known him to have like substance problems necessarily. I know he
Me neither.
OD'd in 2001, but
That's a long time.
so they start going through where he's got substances in his system, but it's like, you know, antidepressants and this and that or whatever. But my effed up brain, I was like, he's in Bogota, Colombia. And he was,
Oh, he was?
and he was, yeah, they had a show that night and he was complaining of chest pains. But he's not the lane.
What kind of drugs would you do in Colombia, though?
I don't maybe what's that stuff?
Is the
called?
poppy
bath
plant back there?
salts.
Bath salts. Yeah, you go to Colombia to do bath salts. What's it called? Crocodile.
Crocodile.
When it rots your arm and you bite
Someone. My roommate the other night, he was like, man, he was like, I don't like doing all them weird things, you know, like crocodile and bath salts. I was like, I don't think anyone we know
Is anybody
does.
doing that? Well,
Only in Florida.
no, somebody at Whitmarsh Island a few years ago did it and like attacked people.
Crocodile?
Yeah, and he was like butt naked, like biting people.
Yeah. Remember Big Lurch? He was a Houston rapper.
No.
No, I
Okay.
thought you were talking about a guy from here. I was like,
No.
There was a guy we called Lurch.
Big Lurch, Houston rapper. He did like
Wait,
crocodile.
yeah, Lerch.
yeah.
Yes, I do remember. that.
And he cut his girlfriend open and ate her heart and walked down the street with her liver in his hand.
Holy shit.
So we're gonna do a
This-
crocodile podcast. See
so,
who kills and eats the other person.
so have you heard of the band Ween?
I have heard of the
I
band
have.
Ween.
Okay. Each of their albums, they do a different substance throughout it. So there was one where they only did DMT and recorded.
Oh, okay.
There was one where they only did like acid and did it. There was one, I'm trying to remember though. There was one, it was like nitrous for one of them or whatever.
Oh.
So we'll just,
Oh, God.
well, I'm gonna go to Russia, get us some fresh crocodile, bring it back,
God, but the price of
and we'll do a
I bet
crocodile
the cost of
podcast.
crocodile's gone through the roof with the war.
And hopefully not each other's faces off.
yeah. I don't be slapping the crap out of each other up here.
Don't get slapped.
Keep
And,
my wife's name out your.
keep my podcast name in your mouth, and we'll
Oh,
see you.
and under
we'll-
your fingers as you click
and we'll see you after the break. Hey, you guys, just wanted to jump in and thank you for listening to From Behind the BarCast. We really do appreciate you guys, but we need some of your help. If you listen to us on Apple, if you go and give us a 5-star rating or actually whatever rating you feel like we deserve.
Yes, on Spotify, Apple.
Yeah, and
rate.
leave a comment, whatever. Also, you can, if you listen on Spotify, you can share our episodes directly to your Instagram stories by clicking one little button. Also, we have all our social medias.
On Instagram, From Behind the BarCast, Facebook, From Behind the BarCast. Message us, comment on stuff.
Comment
I love
on any
interacting
of
with
our
you guys. It's
comment
great.
on our posts. That helps as well. Also, if you could do us a favor and go to Paxton Eugene YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button, and share our videos, and also comment.
Comment and like if you did enjoy them, or if you have a negative comment, we'll take that.
If you hate us, do that. Also,
Yeah.
you can go to anchor.fm/from behind the BarCast and leave a voicemail, positive or negative.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll play it on the show.
And feel free to email us at FromBehindTheBarcast@gmail.com. We love getting emails.
And we take your emails to heart, and we play them. We say them on air.
And we tear up a little sometimes.
And you know what? Sometimes we just love the love. So thank you guys, and let's get back to the show.
Hey.
All right, guys, welcome back. And you know how we always start the second segment of the show? Well, normally with the long drink from Weenie.
Wait, is that?
Oh, shit. It's the Karen of the week. It's the Karen of the week. Ah, shit.
It's Jada Pinkett Smith. No, I'm kidding.
Before we start my Karen/Darren/C word, I just want to say I love when our guests come on, and I love the variety of drinks that we typically have. You know,
Yes.
like it's cool to
You
explore.
say you love them now.
It's cool to explore new things, but just having vodka sodas tonight, or vodka and Trulies, it's been such a pleasure because I feel amazing right now, and I don't feel like I'm in a diabetic coma
Just
or
feel
anything.
normal?
I feel normal.
I watched the episode with Ash, and when I'm watching me read the bottle of cherry Coke, my eyes were like watching me watch it made my blood pressure go up 10 points because like I don't ingest that much sugar, and like it messes with you. I think I talked about eating all those donuts one time, and it almost killed me for the Bar Olympics. Like AJ was going to do the donut eating contest, so I ate 3, and like I couldn't, like I had to get Shay to drive home. Like I was donut high because there was so much sugar at one time, and it doesn't. I don't like that. No, it's making me stutter talking about it. It's like when I drink Red Bull, I get all the
Fucking donut high. I love that because when you were talking about a new weed weekend, I was like, oh, I'd like a new style of panic attack.
Diddy, I think you just missed something.
No need to.
Yeah, you passed.
Well, anyways, all right. So this is, and typically I'm really glad to have a Karen or a Darren story, but this one was just so slow building.
Ooh.
And normally, like the Karens and Darrens, they come and go, but now I've stopped looking for them because they're always going to.
I've stopped pushing people.
Yeah, because typically when we first started the show, I was like, got to make sure I have a Karen or a Darren for this week. I got to make sure I have, like some concise content.
Do you have one? I was like, no. Like, wait a minute, I actually have one of each now that I thought about it.
But this week, I was like, you guys don't worry. If you guys don't have one, I have the combo to combo it all.
The Karen combo?
Karen Darren combo. And it gets even better with the name of this guy's actual name. So let me paint the picture.
Is his name Karen?
It is Saturday afternoon, and 2 people walk in.
Beautiful weather Saturday too.
Oh man, it was amazing, and it was such a good day because we got pretty busy later on, but it was chill mostly. Like, it was busy, it's spring break, whatever. It was chill mostly, but so a girl that I sort of know, I can't remember her name at this moment, but she comes in with this guy, and they sit down.
Make up a name for her? I'm really good at that. We'll call her Girly.
They come in, they sit down, and they each get, he gets like 2 or 3 PBRs, she gets 2 or 3 hazy IPAs, and they leave on Saturday. Like, it was a really great, interaction. They were
That's
super
your favorite
cool.
interaction is leaving.
Yeah, exactly. Come and go, baby. Lay your money down on the table. So I didn't learn his name on Saturday, but Sunday he came in by himself instead of with anyone else.
Okay.
And he walks in and sits down. And I was like, PBR? He goes, holy shit, man. Yeah, I would like a PBR. I was like, well, you were here yesterday.
It's about as far back as we can remember.
Yeah. I got one day.
I'm not Rain Man over here, but I can remember that you drank PBRs or whatever. So this dude is like super cool. Like I overhear him talking to other people. He's like, yeah, I came to Savannah to do a job. He like builds boats or something like that. And, he's interacting with a few of my friends that are there or whatever. So after I give him like his second beer, I was like, hey man, because I had him written in the book as dude or whatever.
Dude.
So,
Did you have like dude one, dude two?
No. It'll be dude, and then it'll be stupid.
He was cool enough to not ask for a card, is what you're saying.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And I knew he was going to be chilling for a little bit.
No happy hour for this man.
I saw him the day before, whatever. So I was like, hey man, I'm Paxton. What's your name? He goes,
Whoa, you introduced
"Yeah,
yourself?
yeah." I said, I'm Paxton. What's
He
your
must have
name?
been very attractive.
He goes, my name's Chad. I was like,
Yes.
I was like, that's crazy because you're really not a Chad. He's like, I know, man, but I live he's like, I own the name. I was like, that respect, man.
Respect. Yeah.
Own that name. Own the
Don't
name.
change it to
Chad.
Kern or Chewed.
So he sits there. He gets 2 PBRs. Everything's going pretty well. A couple comes in. The guy is covered in, this is a Sunday now. The guy's covered in like white paint. He looks like he just got off of a job.
Okay.
Whatever. Which, hey, respect if you're working on Sunday, if you own your own business and you're working,
You're
whatever.
grinding. Get the grind in, man.
So him and his trashy ass looking wife come, or I don't know if it was his wife, girlfriend, whatever. You'll understand why I don't understand this later on in the story.
Okay.
So they go sit at the
Like a Jaden Will
at
kind of story.
it kind of is gonna become that.
Nice.
So they go sit at the round, which is at the outside bar, kind of far away. I see them come in, but I don't know if they need anything yet or not because there's 2 younger girls sitting between them and me, and they had already gotten drinks from inside. So I assumed that they were all a group.
Right.
Well, they weren't. So
And they let you know, huh?
so the trashy wife lady or whatever, the trashy lady of
woman.
the woman.
Come on, Clint, get on with it.
She walks over. She goes, "Hey, can we get we're sitting right over there. Could we get 2 slices of pizza and 2 whatevers?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." They were like super cool about it because when you sit over on that corner, right?
You either walk. Do you walk over there usually?
If I can walk over there, I will. But normally, so many people crowd that walkway.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, it's not
I'll
worth
just
it.
be like, "Hey, it'll be much quicker if you just take 2 steps this way
Yeah.
instead of me walking around."
You know, holler at them.
But I think she understood because she didn't open with "I'm a bartender," but she came over and she was like, "Hey, we're sitting over there. I know it's kind of hard to see us. Could we get 2 slices and 2 drinks, whatever?" So
Nice.
I was like, "Yeah, for sure." An hour passes and like they're just sitting over there chilling. If they need something, she walks around and grabs it. Well, one time she walks around and what had happened was she got her slice of pizza and she talked forever and it got cold. So she walks over. She goes, "Hey, would you mind telling them to stick this in the oven? I'll let it get cold." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, whatever." I thought she was going to be like, "This slice is cold," but she knew what was
I
going
get that
on.
occasionally because people wait in upscale dining for everyone to get their food, and like I had a table and I was like, "Look, y'all go ahead. It's going to be a minute for his," and they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "Please start eating," because they'll go like, "Hey, this is cold." I'm like, "Well, you waited 4
Well, yeah,
minutes."
you
Because
stood
sometimes
over
it takes
yeah.
a minute to
Yeah.
get everything out.
Yeah.
Because when you're getting good food, so yes, it should come out all at once, but sometimes it
But
just can't.
sometimes it just doesn't.
And
yeah.
get on your steak at least.
Yeah, and no one else at the table is probably going to
If
care.
half people have French fries, just start doing the French
Just
fries.
go ahead and steal the French fries.
Yeah.
And put some steak tartare on top of them.
Yeah, that's the way to go. We'll talk about that
So
later.
she walks over to get that from me, and she sits next to Chad.
Yes.
I go personally put her slice into the oven because the kitchen's pretty busy.
What happened to you on Sunday? You were in the mood. It's
yeah.
because you saw me on Saturday night.
This
what it was.
This happened on Sunday.
You're
It
welcome.
was you. So I was like, yeah. So I was stuck it in the oven in the kitchen. I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna stick this down here. Don't worry about getting it. I'll come back in like 3 or 4 minutes and get it. I bring the slice back out to her. Her and Chad are having a real good time with each other.
Okay.
I was like, all right. Her old man, who I assume is her old man, sitting over there talking to these other 2 chicks. Everyone's kind of just, whatever.
Yeah.
They're happy. So they start getting a little bit friendly. And she goes, "Can we get 2 blowjob shots?" I was like, "We don't have like this stuff." She goes, "No, listen, I'm a bartender. Tall glass. You put this in the bottom and then layer this and then you put whipped cream on top and you can't touch it with your hands." I was like, "Man, we don't have any of that stuff."
Yes.
Whatever.
We don't have glasses.
Yeah, right. So Chad goes, "Can we just get 2 picklebacks?" I was like, "Yeah, here's 2 picklebacks, whatever." Give him the pickleback. She eats her slice. They're getting super friendly. She starts like rubbing on him, and I'm eyeballing the guy over here
To see if he's going to get a little angsty.
but he's caught up with these 2 younger girls over here, whatever. So I'm like, all right, man, this is about to get hairy. So then I know now that sees what she's doing, and he has no problems with it. So I think it's an upside down pineapple situation where
Yeah, okay.
he's like, I don't care what my old lady does as long as I get to watch or something like that.
Right.
So they ask for another shot. I give it to him.
Yeah.
I turn around to write down the thing in the book. I turn around. They are full on tongue deep, making out.
And Chad had been in with another girl that you assumed was
So
also.
Chad and the trashy lady are making out.
Chad and the trash
And you
lady-
assumed Chad was with his girlfriend yesterday.
No.
Oh, she was just with a girl.
Yeah, the day before, I could tell that they were just friends, and she was
gotcha,
she was
okay.
just like, "Hey, come to Huckapoo's. This is
Yeah,
like a
okay,
cool
cool,
place,
yeah.
whatever."
So Chad and Trashy are making out. And how Chad's what in his 20s,
Probably like
early 30s.
late 20s, early 30s, and homegirl's probably like mid 50s or something like that.
Oh,
Couple teeth missing, like,
okay.
like
Okay.
gnarly.
So she was like a caged cougar
Right.
with a bad diddle plan.
Well, it's like one of them cougars that they stuck at like in Tiger King, where they're like all
Yeah.
decrepit.
You mean like
and-
Tiger King was?
Yeah,
He was a cougar.
So they are full on making out. And I'm like, all right, man. Dude over there doesn't seem to mind very much. She starts. This is 6:30. There are children everywhere.
Yeah, which is not a good time to be making out
They start swaying and bumping into people, and two of my friends.
during like just first base heaven.
It is like 6:30. They're bumping into the people that are around them, who are my friends.
I don't care.
So I tapped Chad. I was like, hey, man, be aware of your surroundings. You're bumping into people next to you. I don't care that
You're turning into a Chad.
you're becoming Chad. You're bumping into these people, whatever. Just be aware of your surroundings. So he's like, all right, that's my bad. So they stopped making out right then, right? But then instead of making out, she turns around and starts grinding on his crouch.
And y'all are playing some Diplo style music.
I don't
right?
know. I have
I was
no
about
idea.
to say what she tried to do.
I have no idea what kind of music was playing. And then, so there's a
In
table.
her head, especially.
I didn't realize she was wearing a skirt. So as she drops it low, she is fully showing whatever is happening, a gutted raccoon or whatever is happening
A
down
merkin.
there to this table of kids.
Gutted
So-
raccoon.
So I didn't see this. Okay, right? So Mike Henderson, whose table that was, who never stands up or does anything for anyone, I see him walk over after I'd already talked to them. He walks over. He's like, hey, guys,
This is too tragic for me.
I need you guys. My table, like his tables were like getting pissed about it, because they had kids. And I already told the guy, I was like, look, man, don't make out right here. Number one, because it's gross and it's 6:30. There's kids right there.
Yeah.
Number two, while y'all are making out, you're bumping into the people next to you.
Yes.
And these are my good regular customers. So don't do
Yeah.
that. So Chad was really cool about it, but the chick was just out of her mind drunk at this point. So finally, Mike comes up. He's like, y'all, I'm sorry to do this, y'all, but y'all got to go. So he kicks him out. She walks over to
Mike
her.
sounds just like Caitlin.
She walks over to her man. He's like, okay, baby, we'll go then. He's like, hey, buddy, what's the tab? I tell him the tab. He pays me and tips me really well. They walk out. Chad sees them leaving. He's like, oh, shit. He goes out to follow them, and they're all walking out together. I was like,
Has Chad paid his tab?
Chad paid his tab.
Okay, good.
So I'm like, okay, this is maybe this is turning out to the way that I ended up thinking it would be, where this dude
Is gonna smack Chad in the face.
no, this dude doesn't mind watching this Chad F his wife.
It's because the Oscars were rolling and Will Smith was going down. People were just getting ready for it.
He's a
There's
I'm trying not to make Will Smith Jada jokes here, but you really just keep rolling me into these things. I don't want to rock it too much, but
well, I mean, I've been trying to set you up a little bit. So they walk out. I was like, okay, deal over. It could have went way worse because I thought I was going to be breaking up a fight between this guy.
but instead they're getting jiggy with it.
Apparently, they were going to. So
It is almost summertime.
they walk. Oh my god.
summer.
Sorry, would their parents understand? Okay.
We're just going to get a camera on me now. We're just gonna let me take it.
Sorry,
All right.
y'all. It's the Wild Wild West here.
This just never.
I like that I
ends.
crack me up the most, though. I'm the funniest for me.
I mean, look at how Paxton's dressed tonight. We could call him the.
I
Man
was going
in
to say she
Black.
probably preferred Men in Black, but whatever. Anyways, so they walk down the stairs. I'm like, problem over. About 5 minutes later, I look up and I see blue lights out in the parking lot.
Uh-oh.
So Chad, in his haste to follow them to their hotel or whatever, he backs his car into one of the families who's been sitting there's golf cart with a kid inside of it.
Oh, my God.
Arrested for DUI.
Didn't get out of the rocks. Damn, Chad.
Damn.
You tried so hard not to
went
chat, and you
And
chatted.
he became the Chad of all Chads. And the thing was,
God.
It was weird. She didn't
He's
open.
like, here's the first time you've seen a vagina, young man, and I'm hitting your car too. Here's trauma and trauma.
You ever seen a
and trauma.
gutted raccoon before? Let me
Oh.
show you something.
Did
So-
his shirt have a flap on the back?
No.
The Chad flag.
So the thing was, I was like, it's gross enough that was it was.
Well, especially the age difference is making me cringe a little bit too.
But the thing was, she didn't open with "I'm a bartender." After a while, right before she turned into a real bitch, she goes, "Listen, I'm a bartender, and I'm gonna need."
It doesn't sound like she was a dental hygienist. So
She does.
I
She
use
does-
that completely opposite way. If someone's having a hard time and they apologize to me, I'm like, it's okay. I'm a bartender. It happens.
Oh well.
so in the pursuit of happiness, he really hancocked himself.
How many? I mean,
I'm running out of stuff.
they're not
I'm
even
not-
in your
no, I'm
notes.
not- I'm
They're
not-
not even in your notes.
not even in your notes.
Hey,
If he would have made it to the hotel, they might have got hitched.
Oh,
We're crushing Paxton.
see, here's the thing.
Oh.
Here's the thing. I
gotta
feel
stop this.
inadequate for not having one on deck, but I'm sorry.
sorry. It's
It's okay.
it's really fresh, my prince. God, Jesus. Okay, that was bad. I'll stop. So, I didn't. This woman wasn't the most Karen of Karens, only in one really specific way. They sit down there. "Oh, we don't order a bunch of apps. Apologize for them. That's fine. You know, whatever. They get cocktails. They're knowledgeable. I can tell they go to a lot of French restaurants. People that go to France are definitely going to tell you they've been to France.
Is this a couple?
Couple, yeah. They're going to tell you if they've been to France and you're at a French restaurant, they're going to tell you they've been to France.
Yeah.
Which fine, whatever, you know. And
Yeah,
so
but don't expect the French experience.
don't expect me to turn super French real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
Oh, bonjour.
yeah, all that stuff, which is fine. It happens all the time. So they order their apps, whatever. That we don't all come out at once. No, I'm staggering it out. You know, I bring over pepper. I'm busy, so they get the little pepper grinder because it's
They
close.
don't get the big pepper grinder.
So, but they had basically I turned it into like 3 courses, so they wouldn't, you know, to switch. They were on my last table there, stretch it out some. So the last time I dropped something, I'm not busy, so I go get Big Brown and bring it over, and she's like, "Oh my God, look at that thing!" She's like, "Maybe somebody's compensating for something." I'm like, "I'm compensating for the last 2 times where I used a little red one," and she's like, "But you know what I mean, right?" And she proceeds to explain to me what compensation is. She's like, "You know, like guys with big trucks." I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm from Georgia. I am very aware of what you mean." She's
Also, I got it
she's
the
like,
first time.
"They got little dicks," and I'm like,
Actually, you know what? I respect that because if it was a bit,
She went to the end.
yeah.
she was already planning on telling me that
If it
part.
was a bit, she was just stretching it. I think she might have Norm McDonald you a little bit. She was like, "I mean, big dicks."
She was wearing a green velour dress with calf or almost knee-high white boots. No, she was. I don't think she was that creative. She
Okay,
looked-
gotcha.
She looked like she had been to 7 art festivals that day. So I come back. They've now had a couple drinks. They're getting a little loose. And I don't want to look at my notes. I didn't make notes about this. And
Frozen
her husband goes, "Karen would like to tell you about the draperies on the wall." And I'm like, and like, she hadn't been like really a Karen, but she's been kind of annoying. But I'm like, I kind of twitched a little bit, like I was getting
So that was also not a bit. Her
It
name.
literally slapped me in the face.
So we had
Sorry.
a Chad and a Karen.
So it rocked me,
dope.
and I'm only going to stop when you stop.
I didn't know
you.
you guys were so prepared. Like this. Wow.
I'm not. I just,
Thanks for preparing.
I can do this
Yeah,
all
yeah.
day. And so she tries. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know all about them." And she's like, "Oh, who made them?" And I'm like, "I don't know. There's information on the back. I just read it to people." She's like, "Well, you know, it's the 4 C's." And she just starts going into it. I'm like, backing away, and she's continuing to talk. And I'm like, "All right, yeah." Now, I was like, "Hey, what's that?" And they both look, and I took off.
Shut up.
I do it all the time. I'll look at. I will
Is
look.
that a UFO?
I will look at people that aren't there and point and nod, be like, "Gotcha," all the time. So people are like, "Oh, he's got something else to do," and it's perfect to get away because they can't see where I'm looking.
Right.
So like
yeah,
I'll look
yeah.
through like the bar door into the bar. And I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Give me 1 second." I'm like, "All right, I'll be right back." And they're like, "Oh, he had something to do." I don't. I don't
So
want to talk to you anymore.
it-
They weren't super caring after that.
Yeah.
And she tipped me very well for
Yeah.
having to talk to me about tapestries. But I was like, okay. But it was,
I do this. So you know the liquor room behind the outhouse bar.
I've been in there once or twice.
So it's a very little liquor room.
I could find the Tito's in there with my eyes closed.
But
Even though y'all move it constantly, I can still find it.
for people that don't know, I'll walk back there and take a right and act like I'm about to walk 20
I
feet.
can't believe you're giving this secret away. I wouldn't do this.
Well, any of our listeners know.
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So it's
everybody
a hiding
knows
place.
But I'll take that right and look like I'm about to walk a mile, even though I'm
Like
only
real
taking
fast?
though I'm only taking like sorry, excuse me, one
That's why
second.
I told you to get a little mirror so you can peek out like you're in war, like a mirror on a stick.
Actually, we have one of those like
The little round ones, like a turning mirror. You need one on a stick, like you're looking around a tree and not get shot at by a sniper.
or how they check trucks coming in like
Yeah, like
prisons.
that's what I'm talking. One of those. Yeah, or how old men look up skirts.
So
Oh, we're not done here.
okay, I'm sorry.
There's a Darren.
Mm.
And this Darren has been here before. He's our probably most Darren of Darrens. We've got a Scott Jacobs update.
Hey,
We need a siren or something. I don't know. What's that? We did the Emmy walk-up
It
song.
needs to be the psycho music. Like,
No, I think the walk-up song for the
we need
Emmys.
the rap horn.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that damn thing. It's almost as annoying as whistles at festivals. People think they have rhythm and
Or
they
like
don't.
the vuvuzela.
Yeah. Benny, no, Benny, do that again. Benny, hit the cameras real fast, back and forth. Come on, do
No,
it
I'm
together.
not your monkey.
I'm not your wife.
Benny's the monkey.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Benny's the monkey. Listener email or message, not email, a Facebook message. Hey, Clint! Exclamation point. I'm not going to mention this person's name. We all know her and love her. I listened to the Scott Jacobs episode, and I feel completely validated. Him crying made my year.
Crying.
Because I told you he cried after he got fired.
Oh,
yeah,
trying to beg his way back in. I interviewed at the ad agency he had on Tybee, and a long story short, years later, I saw him in 80 East, and he was, of course, fucked up. I'll take it. He decides to tell me in his state that he couldn't hire me because I wasn't attractive enough to work there.
What a fucking piece of shit to say something like that.
It's an ad agency. You ain't got to be in the ads.
Are you being photographed in these ads?
This man is not very handsome himself to be throwing stones in his.
So he
in
really
his
worked.
fake Emmy
He
glass
really
house.
worked at that ad agency.
Yeah,
then?
that's
Yeah,
his
he
actual
owned
company.
it.
That's the real thing.
that was
He had,
his.
he had a partner in that agency. I don't think
And
they
then-
speak anymore.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, I
Weird.
don't know why. Because he probably made up crazy about his wife. He
I'll do this for you.
So there's a bunch more F's in here that I'm not going to go through because I'm trying not to lose to Will Smith, like so many others have.
It's too late.
The Aliens and Independence Day. But she said she got a backstory from somebody else about him that had given us some good information about him. That was the only person that said something nice about him was the person that gave her the backstory that he's good at ping pong. That's literally the nicest thing I've heard about this man. He's good at ping pong.
But could he beat Prince in ping pong? No.
Ooh, could he be? Never mind, I won't do it.
Could he beat who's the you got me thrown off with all this Will Smith shit.
I have
man.
no,
I hate you
I
guys.
have no
Jazzy
ping
Jeff?
pong.
I hate you.
Jazzy Jeff and ping
Got
pong?
nothing for ping pong.
You know what? I wish we had thrown him out the crib like Uncle Phil did. For
Actually, I don't know if he could beat Kelly in ping pong because we've talked about it before when we were in St. Augustine, where Wink went to go see Panic on a Sunday, which is really stupid.
This ended, by the way, this ended with thanks for doing the Lord's work.
So Kelly and I were in a Airbnb in St. Augustine going to see Humphreys at the St. Augustine Amphitheater, and we played ping pong for about, 30 games straight, and he took...
Oh, yeah, he just whooped your ass?
He whooped my ass every time. No F's given. And it kind of hurt me because I was like, you want people to play well against you, and, you wanted to be
Well,
competitive.
if you're really good, you sandbag the first one or two.
He didn't have to. But then, like I said, when we played tennis, I just crushed him completely. So
See, I played tennis a lot, so I'm pretty decent at ping pong, and I spent some time in a boys' home when I was younger, and we played a fair amount of ping pong.
Table tennis.
Table tennis.
Whenever you get really good at it.
TT, as they
So,
say in the hood.
Vinny was telling me that there was a couple proposals over the weekend at the Congo Street Social Club.
Just the weirdest place in the world. Like,
It's like
one of
getting
them-
engaged at Burger King.
but it was just so funny because I was upstairs, like in the inside bar. We have a DJ, and it's just nothing but like trap.
Did the
music
guy
in
at
it.
least tell the DJ first?
No. Like the only reason I knew is because I went to go walk around someone, and I go walking, I see a camera, and I turn around, I look down, and I'm like, oh shit, people are getting engaged. I'm ruining the video, and they're like hugging and kissing, and literally in the background is like crazy bitch, like Roses is playing by Outkast.
Don't trust that hoe. Don't trust that hoe.
And
Don't.
so-
Who's a
So
hoe?
I'm laughing, and I'm like,
My
oh
mom's
my god,
dancing.
like somebody just got engaged at Social Club, like
Yeah.
telling the staff, and everybody's like, why the hell would someone do that? And I was like, I don't know. So
Especially when it's loud as fuck. So
I mean, why would they go to social club in the first
they
place?
get down on a knee like, will you marry me? What? What, honey? What'd you say?
Yeah, what?
You like to
So-
see homos naked? What'd you say?
It's like Jim in the office kept doing to Pam. Will you stand here? While I tie my shoe.
Tie my shoe.
So I'm laughing about it, and then like not 10 or 15 minutes later, I'm in the basement, and there's another. It's like I think I want to say it was almost like Gold Digger was playing, and like dude gets on his knee in the basement bar.
Of course, it's not.
And like proposes, and everyone's recording it and cheering, and I was like,
no Jermaine Dupri, let's get married or anything.
Like, what is
Was it
going on?
112?
I've got
Let's
friends
get
that
married.
they've put "Will you marry me" on the top of a building, and then have taken their soon-to-be fiance
yeah,
up in a helicopter to fly over it. I've seen people like, "Hey,
Mir did that for Ozzy. Mir took
yeah,
Ozzy
that's
over,
what I'm talking about."
over
Yeah.
North Beach Drill,
He
though.
did a banner.
And like he was like, look over there. And she's like, no, I'm looking over there. He's like, look over there. And he's like, hurry up and look over there because we're passing it.
Actually, that reminds me. So someone did it at Huckapoo's, and no hate against them for doing this, but they came back. They're like, "Hey, I want to order a plate of Mac Daddy nachos, and I want you to put this engagement ring
In the nachos?
in the nachos." I was like,
No.
so it wasn't me that he asked, but the person that he did ask, I forget who it was. They were like, "Look, I will put it in there, but like this is soft, gooey cheese. It might
it might
like
drip,
sink
dip,
down
yeah.
in there."
Is that real gold? No, I'm cheap. It's
And
fine.
she might
I'm
end
getting a
up-
good Huckapoo's. It's fine.
She might end up eating the damn thing. Did it anyways, and it went over like basically well, I guess. But it's just, especially asking someone to marry you.
Oh my God! I just realized we know somebody who got engaged in the Huckapoo's parking lot. And spoiler alert: they're not married anymore. In fact, this woman went on to not date a man for quite a few years
I
afterwards.
was about to say, I already know who you're talking about.
This person did not date another man for a couple of years because of the trauma of their previous marriage.
Okay, gotcha.
Proposed in the parking lot after they got into
No,
a fight to like stop the fight. That was like, how about this?
That's like that keep a relationship together baby. Like, oh, maybe if I get pregnant.
Yeah.
Well, P, I'm pretty sure both you and I have both signed a marriage license in Huckapoo's, have we not?
I signed my lawyer's marriage license in
Yeah.
Huckapoo's. Yes.
I signed like one of my uncles, like
Yeah.
in Huckapoo's.
Did I
was-
talk about Sophia losing Charlotte's marriage certificate when I married Charlotte to Sean? We left the the
No.
dock, and I was like, this is your job. You have to hold this, and like that's how close Sophia was to my family. It was just
Yeah.
family and her. So and so everything's a rush at a rushed wedding. So like there was a lot going on,
Yeah.
and the next day I'm like, hey, do you have that? She's like, I can't find it. We looked high and low for it,
Oh, wow.
and she found it. Like I went and got another one because you go to the courthouse and get one, and the day she was packing up to leave, she was like.
Look at this. Found it. It's like, where's my phone? Oh, it's in my pocket.
It's my
Sorry.
pocket. Sorry about that. Huh? I
Um,
know you don't smoke as much weed as Vinny and I do. Definitely not as much as Vinny does. But we've definitely tried to
love it.
find our phone with our phone flashlight.
Oh, of course. That was another thing.
I've done that at least 3 or 4 times.
The day that I had all the people being like, could I get my card back? I had at least 3 people like, I can't find my phone. I'm like, it's not behind the bar.
Yeah, how did it get back here?
Sorry.
Did Clint have it in his pocket?
Yeah.
Then no, it's not back here.
Also, talking about marriages, shout out Nick and Allison. They were in yesterday. I'm marrying them this next coming month. And when I was on my period the past week,
Mhm.
you guys
Speak for us.
remember,
Speak for
I
us.
turned all
I
my
do.
I turned all my notifications off.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
so they came in
You had
yesterday.
to read my mom's little period.
So they came in yesterday, and I was totally honest with them. I was like, "Look, man, I go through mental health sometimes, like
Yeah,
issues
most
sometimes.
people
Like
do.
I get overwhelmed. I have bad anxiety
Smack
sometimes,
Chris Rock in the face.
and that's the only way to cure it is to smack Chris Rock in the face.
And turn off your
And actually,
Yeah, you know whose phone's off today? You know whose phone's off today? Jenna and
actually,
Will.
there was one marriage certificate that I never signed, and it's good that I never signed it because
There.
they.
They're no longer
So
together.
then one of the party came in with her new chick, and she was like, "Hey, if I decide to marry this chick, will you do the ceremony too?" I was like, "Girl, why are you trying to front in front of this?"
Yeah, what are you doing here? Do you already have her?
Girl,
Like you're gonna take your girl out and be like, "This is the priest of our first marriage of my like." That's not
Yeah.
that's not a good flex.
That's not a good flex at all.
That's not the
priest
best.
witness.
That is not the best flex.
Yeah, that probably won't stick real well.
Yeah, right.
Hey, baby, this is Paxton. He married me.
He
in
married
my
me the
life.
first
The first time and the third time.
But guess what? I was smart and I didn't sign that thing.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
weird though because I've probably done 11 weddings now, and I signed my name. I have credentials, whatever.
But that's it. They don't
But
contact
I've
you at
never been called or
all.
emailed
Neither.
or.
Neither. I've done
Nor
like
have I.
5 or 6 weddings. Nothing.
So Joe Blow off the street, he could have married Chad and that old lady right there in the parking lot before he
yeah.
got the DUI, and no one would know any better.
yeah. I mean, it's so weird because you just go online and get it, and then like that's the end of it. Like they sent me one email back, and that's all I've got the
Yeah.
contact.
Well, when you did it,
'Cause I'll forget because I haven't done it. Like I went like until I married Sean. Sean had been like 2 years. I'd done one.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is the name of this church that I
Universal
joined?
Life, baby.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Which sounds like something I just made up. That's a real church.
No, it's you can do the Church of the Dude.
It's
too.
a branch
like,
of Scientology, I think.
You can do the Dudism church too. The
Church of the Dude.
yeah, so
I guess you can.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about. I mean, hey, any church is good with me, except for Scientology.
except for Scientology. I'm in the church of. I get drunk on podcasts.
Yes.
and forget them.
But
Yes, you do.
But we have actual topics to talk about. We just don't sit here. Well, actually, sometimes we get really drunk.
Speaking of, I put a little poll up with a picture of the slap with one of the
yes.
107,000 memes.
It's so unfortunate that it got so much happened so fast. From it happened last night.
If it had happened today, one of us would have slapped the other one probably. But like it was just so burnt out.
Yeah, but it's not. Oh, it's burnout, really, and
Yeah.
you're still making all these Will Smith jokes. Wow, come on.
See, parents just don't understand, y'all. I had to go back to that one. Sorry. I'm also out of Will Smith songs. Vinny, go ahead. You're up now. You know all of them.
I mean,
I'm just over here trying to get jiggy.
I
with
was about to say you
I already
got
jiggied with it.
yeah, you got jiggy with it
Yeah,
already.
I'm done.
So for some of y'all that don't know some of our podcast background here, post this story to Instagram, which goes to Facebook. Facebook, 20 people have seen it. 2 votes. Instagram, 119. Because Facebook,
It's
Is it
weird.
Darren?
Facebook is a Darren.
Facebook is a Darren
Zuckerberg is a Darren.
and a Chad because
He's
we'll
Robot
post,
Darren.
we'll post stuff on Instagram.
And it gets a fair amount of interaction. They do
Yeah.
throttle it some, but
But once it goes to Facebook,
Facebook's like, oh, no one's
nothing. But I don't. I mean, who really gives
So,
a shit about Facebook?
24
anyways?
people
But-
think it was real, and 12 think it was not real.
So give us your opinion. Whether you think. All right. So like I said, my opinion is I think it was a bit. It was
It was
planned
bitty.
to be a bit,
Correct.
but it went a little sideways, and it didn't go exactly as they planned.
No,
I agree.
When you plan a bit and drink alcohol,
Hey.
sometimes they don't go as planned.
Yeah, but how much champagne does it take to get you drunk enough to slap someone?
I mean, they're drinking that fire champagne. I didn't see what they were drinking
Does
last year.
fire champagne have more alcohol in it?
The
than...
2019 Oscars, they had. What were they drinking? It doesn't matter what brand because you won't know. It was like Louis Roederer or whatever.
Guess what?
But
Stetson Bennett.
every bottle they had though
yeah.
was placed facing the cameras. So when you panned, you would see
Oh,
what
of
what
course.
champagne it was. Well,
Product
this year I wasn't paying enough attention to it because once it went to the crowd, I was like, me.
Who was our quarterback that won the? Was it Stetson Bennett?
Stetson
Yeah.
Bennett, his
He
name.
was chugging off a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle,
like
and he didn't.
25-year pass.
And he didn't slap no damn body. Come
No,
on, man.
no, he slapped Alabama.
Hey,
Hey, right in
I'm
Nick
pretty
Saban's
sure he
face.
slapped something that night. at
Oh,
every-
yes.
I
he
hope
did.
so. He's no Tim Tebow.
We saw him on
saving
Good
it for
Morning
marriage.
America the next day. He looked like he'd been slapping all night. he'd been slapping that. What did you call it? The cross-legged raccoon or
Yeah, I got it.
the gutted raccoon? It
And
sounds like a strip club in Northern
so,
Alabama.
it's funny. I haven't.
What do you work? The North?
I haven't
the
thought of
gutted
or
raccoon?
used that reference in forever. But my first job at a bar, I didn't bartend, but I was a cook. It was O. Henry's in Brunswick.
Oh, Henry's gutted raccoon.
And I lived in the apartment above the bar, and I worked in the kitchen underneath the bar. My rent was $200 a month, and they took it out of my check. It was balling. Well, anyways, so I went downstairs, and there was this girl, kind of like I was like 19. She was like kind of chatting me up, and I was like, whatever. I was just
You're
chatting with
19.
her.
You're just doing whatever.
The guy next to me goes, the guy next to me, he was like, hey, man, I know Melissa or whatever her name was. He goes, her pussy looks like a gutted raccoon.
Oh my God! Thanks for the heads up, buddy.
Oh damn! So,
I was like,
so did it?
I was like,
Did
never
you confirm.
never found out. But this dude,
Vinny would have done it. Just to
this
find
dude
out.
was
I-
like-
I kind of.
Just for
You gotta
the
do your own research,
intrigue.
Paxton.
he was a well of good quotes, though. He was like Al McRae before Al.
Like more like Jim
Because
McAfee's.
this dude was trying to like pick a fight with him or whatever, and this guy was like, "Man, I'll bust your ass up, man. I'll stomp a mud hole in your ass." And the dude, deadpan, he goes, "Listen, man, I'm from Missouri, the show me state."
That's it.
And that's it. And the dude was like, "You know what? Never mind. I ain't fucking with this dude."
I like all the euphemisms for vagina. Like, one of my favorites is I'd drag my nuts through 1 mile of broken glass. I hear her fart through a walkie-talkie. Have you ever heard that
I've
before?
heard that one.
That's pretty verbose. That's a pretty.
Yeah, I did. You know, I got.
That's like one of them long cheers. Here's you. Here's
Here's
me.
me.
Gutted
I got a
raccoons.
terrible one. I don't even want to say it.
Oh, you got to now.
There's good news and bad
Hey,
news.
you got to pay for all your Will
It's
Smith
the
jokes.
worst pickup line I've ever heard. It goes, "Hey girl, I suck your daddy's dick to see where you came from."
Oh yeah, I've heard that one before.
That one is awful.
That is
That's
pretty
the-
good.
That's
Yeah.
the worst one I've ever heard.
Oh,
pretty-
that's the worst one you ever. I had to think about some bad pickup lines, but there's also like other names for battered vaginas. I like a poorly packed piece of luggage, like when there's stuff that's coming out the side.
We're gonna catch so much shit for this.
And actually, you ever tried
Send
to,
your emails to Paxton Eugene at.
you ever tried to pack a tent up after a long festival
go.
weekend? That's,
You got to put a gutted raccoon in a tent.
You just can't get that one little piece in there.
You can't. You can't. It's like poorly chewed bubble gum.
all right, let's see if we beat Will Smith in the F count this
Yes.
week.
Yeah,
Let's
we
see
all
what's
did.
happening.
Paxton wins today. Paxton has 4 F-bombs.
He has
Yeah,
at least.
I was using lyrics before,
At least,
so
yeah. But Will Smith still with just 2, unless we want to play it again at the end and he can win. But you know,
no. I've said enough Fs and we've said enough Will Smith.
we were
jokes,
actually pretty tame. That's only what.
That's pretty
10,
good.
10
It's a pretty bright spot in our F counts.
Thank you guys so much.
Just glad I didn't get a concussion from this.
Yes, there it is.
Hey, you know what?
Paxton actually feels like he has a concussion.
I can respect that cleanup right there. All right, guys, we love you.
Love you.
Love
Thank
you
you very
guys.
much.
Thank y'all.